Hey guys, Risk Trades here. Want to make a video on psychology because that's a very important part of trading that people don't really focus on. They focus on the technical analysis, but they don't focus on the psychology. And let me break down the most important parts of psychology that will help you a lot as a trader. First off, risk management. So, say I want NQ, um, and say I want a long right here, right? So I'm gonna buy maybe, if I'm on a 50K funded account, let's just risk 180. And then say I get filled right there. Well, in that case, I better not be taking profits right here at 39 bucks because I'm risking $180. So I better have a proper target. So like for me, a target would be like this block right here, this top block, 530. Boom. That's perfect. I'm gonna need three losses to wipe that out. If you take profits right here because you see green and you panic, you you're gonna mess up your risk to reward ratio, and you do that three times, you're gonna need three wins just to cover a loss once you hit it. So if you keep taking profits right here, that's and you hit one stop loss, you're gonna need three wins to cover that. Meanwhile, right here is the opposite. One win will cover three or four losses, and that's how it should be. So you do not want to size too much. Second of all, you need to learn the difference between minis and micros. So like minis is right here, right? If I buy one and I'm only risking 30 points, that's already $600. You need to do micros. So with micros, so if I do like right here 595 and I want to risk 30 points, then I'll go in with three. Boom, risk about 150. So that's a very important aspect of psychology. Holding your trades, like I said, to uh, have a very good risk reward is a very important part in trading. And then third of all, the third most important aspect is going to be two losses in a row, you're done. So say I try to long right here, okay? I already took a loss. And then say I re-enter again, I took a loss again. That's two losses in a row, two consecutive losses. I need to realize I need to be locked out for the day. You already hit two losses in a row. Whatever you're doing on that day most likely is not going to work. So lock yourself out, and there's always another session or another day to trade. And so, like on a 50K, so if I would risk about $150 per trade, so $300 a day, and I would target 3 RR. So doing that, I mean, I've made sometimes $800, $900, even $1,000, and if I had a losing streak on a day, so two consecutive losses in a row, I'd be down 300. Well, I need 3 days of straight losses just to wipe out that one win. And that's the most important aspect of risk management, which is also a part of psychology. Another thing is like if you keep winning, like you keep winning and winning, um, you know, don't stop until you have a loss. So if you're on a winning streak, just keep going, but don't let it go red. Especially after two wins, don't let it go red. Even if you have one very good win, don't let it go red. You know, that means all that effort was for nothing, and that's what usually happens. So a lot of traders will go slightly red from being green, and then they chase their profit goal. So if the profit goal is like $500, but they're down $100, they'll chase that. Don't chase it. Let the setup come to you and follow your rules. You need to always follow your rules. Otherwise, you're not going to make it in this market. You're going to get wiped out easily. And another important aspect of psychology is only trade when the market presents you a setup. If you see an A plus setup, then trade. Like for example, um, let's go on MNQ. I'm not gonna trade randomly. We're in a no man's land right here. So like I might have missed this setup. It doesn't mean I'm gonna force a setup, which is also another thing. You cannot be forcing setups. It's the worst thing you can do as a trader, and it's gonna burn you. So like I have a very good example right here. So like right here, I probably lost right. You would have lost right here with my setup. About, let's just say 15 points, right? Fine. I see that it kept going up, closed above again from here, and I see that it gave us another opportunity right here. Risk 15 points, and then hold to the top of the block, which is 60, and we could have held the runner and still held it for like a 7 RR, and that's waiting for my setup to hit. First time it didn't hit, that was fine. It stopped out. Second time it worked out. After that, I'm probably done for the day. I've already covered my loss, then a lot more. I'm already done for the day. There's no reason for me to trade, especially in this market. And if you guys can see, we are chopping. We are just chopping in this range right here. We're going from here to the top, which is something you guys need to focus on, is not trading in the chop. Trading in the chop is the worst thing you can do. And if you can't play it right, you're just going to end up burning yourself. And another thing that I feel like needs to be addressed is focus on one ticker. I got all these on my watch list, but in reality, just focus on one ticker. Whether it's NQ, whether it's GC, YM, ES, oil, focus on one ticker. Because if you put your focus on too many tickers, it's gonna mess up your win to loss ratio. Because if you have one loss on ES, then another loss on NQ, it's gonna mess it up. Meanwhile, if you have one loss on NQ, you can look for another trade on NQ. So, because imagine if I was on MNQ, right? So imagine if I was on MNQ and um, I took this loss, then I went on ES and took another loss. Meanwhile, if I had focused on MNQ, I could have just waited for the setup to hit right here. It came back down, and then it went up. Boom. That's it. So to sum it up, um, you need to have good risk reward ratio. You need to um, have good profit targets. You need to hold your trades. You need to only trade when the market presents you a setup, and you need to go for only A plus setups, and then lock yourself out after two losses in a row. And don't trade too much. I don't care if it's wins. Don't trade too much. Lock it in, and just following these rules will help you become such a profitable trader. I might make a part two video on psychology. Just comment below if you want me to make a part two, and I could cover more things in detail. Just like and subscribe. You guys have a good one.